their eyes began to change to these hues for them to be able to absorb whatever light was possible in the caverns. Whatever light they could get, or whatever visual they could get inside of the caverns. Not light, but visual, shall I say. And this life went on, and this life went on up until the exodus of the caves. If you notice now in modern day Caucasian teachings, when they teach about the cave people, they used to say all people on the earth were cave dwellers. All people on the earth. Oh. They used to say all people on the earth were cave dwellers. They used to say all people lived in caves. They no longer teach the theory that all people lived in caves. They only teach the theory that some people lived in caves. All people couldn't have lived in caves because there's historical evidence to show that when the time these Caucasians were living in the caves of Europe, of the Caucasus Mountains, there were civilizations, many civilizations of black nations in the earth. Hell, we had already invented the wheel. And yeah, the black man invented the wheel. Excuse me. So, nevertheless, this race began to seep out of the caves little by little after they started going through these particular changes. The ones in the darkest and deepest caverns were just the last to leave the caves, and they were the palest, pinkest, albino, taupe-looking people. These people left the caves, and they began to venture out, and they began to encounter human life, and these subhuman. I refer to them as subhuman because if they're not at the peak or at the scale of humanity. And even if you search these people and look at them as people till this day, you can see that they are far from humanity. They're subhuman. It is what it is. These people came out these damn caves, and we began to fuck with them. I mean, actually thought some of them were beautiful. Had sex with them, multiplied with them, like fools. And we began to perpetuate different races of people, different divisions of people. Some had already escaped the caves and was not what you would call all the way morphed out, because they did go through a metamorphosis while they were in the caves, but all of them wasn't to the point where they fleshly color had totally left them altogether to a raw flesh appearance. It's pretty profound. It's pretty profound. Nevertheless, these people began to have societies. They began to it's all gravy. They began to perpetuate culture. And if you know what culture is anything perpetuated, over existence of time. So they began to take an unnatural look at the earth. For the same reasons they were imprisoned in the Caucasus Mountains were the same reasons for their culture and their perpetuation outside of the Caucasus Mountains. These people began to murder and kill and ravish and rape lands and people. And the further they proceeded out of the caverns, the more the people that lived in those areas moved away. And this is as it was, and this is as it is. And this has been for at least 6,000 years. The Caucasian had left the caves of Europe a little over, a little under, I think it's a little over 6,000 years. And this is where the origin of man came from. This is who man is. This is where the races of people came from. This is how we got here to this day. This is how the Caucasian, if you see him, all of the people on the earth has color in their hue. All the people on the earth. The Eskimos, the Mongolian, the Brazilian, the Inca, the Aztec, the Islander. Every man and woman on the earth has a shade or a hue of brown in their flesh, except for this pink man. Every person on the planet has brown eyes, except for this pink man and his horn. Every person on the planet has dark brown hair, black hair, sun-kissed hair, because the sun bleaches your hair through time. Everyone on the planet, except for this Caucasian and his horn, except for this Aryan, this pink man, shall I say, this pink being and his horn. Why is that? Everybody on the planet got brown toes, some shade of brown, light brown, dark brown, super light brown, super dark brown, whatever it is, it's a shade of brown, except for this pink man. I find that odd. I find that peculiar, and so should you. And the same people that lived in the same climate, because the Caucasian always tried to say it was a climate thing, and it was because of a particular climate that these people lived this way and turned this way, and the temperature of the air had nothing to do with it. The climate of the air had nothing to do with it. It was lack of the nourishments of the earth, lack of nourishments of the sun, vitamin D, that did this to them. But if they reason that, oh, well, it's cold here, and if you live here, it's going to get cold, and you're going to alter to be this, or you're going to alter to be that, blah, blah, rah, rah, blah, blah. Why is it the people who lived in the same goddamn climate didn't alter? As if there's a thermal pocket or a pocket of cold air sitting right over their land, and believe me, they think they were in England when this took place, but they wasn't. They were in the Caucasus Mountains when this took place, up above Georgia, up above, let me look and give you an exact place where they were, so it'll be quite clear. There we go. Right above Georgia, above Iran and Turkey, right above it. And Georgia is the closest to the Caucasus region. They would already have had this so-called metamorphosis of this skin altering to be one from another. They had already had achieved this regression, this mutation, this subhuman likeness, or subhumanality, shall we call it, before they left the caves of the Caucasus. So my question is, how could one say that the climate had an effect on it? The Eskimo has been living as the Eskimo has been living since the Ice Age has been the Ice Age. They have been the same hue, the same look. They have been the same people all of this time. The Tibetan has lived in the ice-covered peaks of the Tibetan mountains for a long time. They have lived in a cold region for a long time, super long time, but yet they haven't altered. Why is it that just these people altered? Why did just these people turn out with a pink, pale hue, with a raw flesh, leopardess physical makeup? Why? And not everyone else. There's something bigger than the climate, because the same climate they share with their neighboring people. That's because they achieved this leopardess, they achieved this physical defect of a specimen of human long before they reached the lands of England, or Germany, or Russia, or wherever you may find them, or Sweden. They were already as they appear to be before they even got there. But this is what it is. And these people have been in disagreement with the earth from the very beginning.